What is up? What is up? Shut up the king, the one and only. I am here to bring you my review slash recap of Bleach chapter 517. The Zero Squad has arrived. Alright guys, let's jump into this. Basically I'm going to do a quick recap and then I'm going to jump into my thoughts and do things a little different. There's a lot of analyzing going on, and again, quite frankly, this is kind of one of those. I don't want to say throwaway chapters. These are more one of these development chapters. So there's not much to really recap. This chapter is all around introducing the Zero Squad. We actually get introduced to. I guess we're shown out of the four of them. The black guy has not been, talk. He didn't really talk or say anything. And there's actually one thing I do want to mention. In the chapter there was this fantastic color page which shows a full body shot of all the 5 members of Zero Squad. So I really thought that was cool. And as the chapter goes along, they actually give you like a profile of some of the members. And I believe we only got 2 this week. And I believe it was the young lady who is quite attractive, and then I believe the other young lady who is a little festively plump. But again, like I said, this is pretty much an introduction. Let's just go ahead and run through this. One important thing to note is I was completely wrong. I was thinking that, again, I knew that they still kind of had the same structure as the Goatee 13. You'd have one that's really good at keto, one that's really good at healing, one that's really great and excelled at fighting, etc. But it's more condensed down into a group of 5 versus 13. So Unohana, she apparently was taught everything she knows by the gentleman with the spiked, Kuwabara head style. And honestly, I didn't think he would be the one that was the healer. That was just something on my part. I totally thought that it would have been the heavyset girl. But I've also thought that, just in general, maybe it's just a stereotype that the healers are usually women. One good revelation that came from that is through talking with Unohana, the guy tells her that, you should have been on the battlefield. We all know that your talent comes in the form of combat versus healing. So we all know that Unohana is probably one of the strongest of the Goatee 13, if probably only second to Yamamoto. Unfortunately, throughout the entire series so far, we have not seen her throw even so much as a punch or swing her sword. She's strictly been healing or, just riding that little gas manta ray thing that she has. So very little is known about her or her Bankai, or hell, her Shikai at the matter. So, but again, we've seen her power scale in the data books, and her power scale is actually stronger than Kenpachi. More on Kenpachi later, by the way. So it's going to be really cool to see how they develop her in this storyline, because again, it looks like now that the immediate battle is over at the Serite, they're going to start focusing more on the character development, which is great. And again, some people, they focus on such the wrong things. Like like I said, I read through a lot of other people's stuff, and people are all upset about Renji and Rukia, and where there's character development. And I'm just like, look, Rukia and Renji are 2 of the most flushed out characters in Bleach, in my opinion. I mean, no one's gotten more story time and airtime than them. I'm ready to hear about some of these other guys in the Goatee 13, to be honest with you. I want to hear about Unohana. I want to see what her whole story is, and why is it that Yamamoto forbid her to enter the battlefield knowing how strong she was. So it's just going to be interesting to see what's going on with that situation. Now that's out of the way, the reason why the Zero Squad arrived was to take everyone back, and well, for multiple reasons. Number one, they were here to fix the Serite, all the destruction that happened. Secondly, they were there to heal the people that could be healed. And thirdly, they were here to take Ichigo to go see the Soul Palace and possibly meet the Soul King, which is Fingers crossed. So hopefully in the next couple of chapters we'll get that whole thing flushed out. Now, a couple other interesting thing. Shinji apparently knows the big fat rice cake girl. She noticed him right away and gave him a nice big old slap across the face for not recognizing her. And like apparently she must have been very skinny in her heyday, and now she's kind of plumped up. And apparently she has this thing for rice or cereal. I don't know if that was like a translation or was that just literally, because I know when they showed her name, it had said rice or cereal or something like that. So I'm just hoping her abilities don't revolve around food. That would really suck. Also, what is up with Soifon? She is getting on my last nerve. First, her whole outburst at, Captain Yamamoto's, quote unquote, death when they, showed a sword and broke in, and she's screaming at everybody and, just being a real ass. And I understand she's grieving and that's how she does it. And, she makes this stupid choice. And apparently we know that that kind of just shows us who has ever met Zero Squad and who haven't. Clearly, Soifon has never met Zero Squad, because if she did, she would have kept her damn mouth shut. So she's basically telling them, why the hell didn't you show up when we were getting our asses kicked? And the guy that's the healer, I promise you I'll remember their names soon enough, but it's just too early for that. I'll memorize all their names eventually, but right now it ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna call him Cool Bar right now. So Cool Bar guy literally teleports behind Soifon, grabs her arm, and is basically like applying pressure, and he did it like that. And again, Soifon is one of the fastest members of the Go T13, and she couldn't even see him. So again, the guy's like literally like, shut the hell up. He's like, our job is to protect the Soul King. Your job was to protect the Serite. Why did you fail? Essentially just telling her, look, you got your job, we got our job. You fucked up, so don't come yelling at us because you couldn't handle your job. If you can't handle your job, why the hell are you in the Go T13 in the first place? So, that kind of quickly shut her up right then and there. And, I almost had to give a little quick hand clap for that, because I'm just like, Soifon, you guys just had your asses handed to you. I understand you guys are needed back up, but again, please know your place and don't just blurt out stupidness and get your arm broke. That's all I'm saying. The young lady, the super hot one, and the funny thing is, and I want to ask you guys, the chick with the skeleton arms, does she not look like the release form of the guy that now has the eye patch? Back a few chapters, this was only in the anime. Only people who watch the anime and read the manga may know what I'm talking about, where their Zanpakutos were turned into real people, and the guy with the two swords, his one sword turned into this skinny little girl, and this other one turned into this more attractive, vivacious, large girl with like a nice little dress on. I swear she almost looked just like the other chick from Zero Squad. Just a quick observation. Now I'm going to move on. So she was talking to Mayuri and basically telling him, hey, I broke into your lab, I took all your shit, I got Ichigo's sword. Because again, she's the most interesting character to me. I'm going to put that out there right now. She is the most interesting character out of the Zero Squad so far. I'm loving the arms. She had these like little orb things that she was carrying around, that was carrying Byakuya, was carrying Renji, and was carrying Rukia. And basically they were having a conversation with Unohana saying, look, we have to take these guys and get them healed. You can't do it, and if Byakuya stays here, he will die. So I'm assuming that Byakuya is going to get taken to the Soul Palace and get healed and probably get powered up, which is fantastic. Again, I'm not one of those people who was happy to see him die, so the fact that I know he'll be back in action now is okay with me. One other thing that's to note, and I did mention before that I was going to bring up Kenpachi, he was not one of the people that was taken to go to the Soul Palace and get healed, which tells me one or two things. Either A, he refused to go, or number two, he didn't need it, and maybe he's already up and at him and training or whatever the case may be. or someone stopped them from taking him. So I'm hoping they're going to flush that out as well to try to figure out what's going on with there. And again, Ichigo was like, well, then if they're going there to get, to get healed, I'm fine. I don't really need to be healed. And they was like, no, we want you to go. The Soul King wants to meet you, and also they want to do something about his Zanpakuto because they took it. So again, I think they know about his Quincy heritage, of course, and then they're probably going to develop some new weapon or new Zanpakuto or some sort of crossbead weapon for Ichigo. So just the bottom line is there are going to be a lot of interesting developments going on once they reach the Soul Palace, and I cannot wait. Wow. One last little thing before I go. There was a voice that called out right as they were getting ready to leave, which was probably the people from Waco Mundo. Well, we know it's the guys from Waco Mundo, so hopefully next week we'll finally figure out exactly what the hell happened there. To be honest with you, they done made me wait so daggone long. I'm almost disinterested. Like, again, I'm still hoping that it's Grimjow, but I'm at the point now, I'm like, look, you guys done waited too damn long. The anticipation has gone away. You guys need to just go ahead and let that cat out of the bag because you just waited too long to expose it. So that's my thoughts on that. I definitely want to hear what you guys think. Comment in the section below. What do you think is going to happen at Soul Palace? Who do you think what's going to happen? Are we going to finally see if that was Grimjow that helped them out next week? Let me know in the bottom comments below. Thumbs up the video if you could. Definitely subscribe. Shut up the king, the one and only. Have a fantastic day.